There's this special kind of exhaustion, right? The kind that comes when you want sleep more than anything in the world, but it just won't come. It's this deep, frustrating ache, and honestly, it can feel incredibly, incredibly lonely.
I mean, if you've ever spent a night like that, just tossing and turning, watching the numbers on the clock change, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The hours just crawl by, your mind is racing 1,000,000 miles a minute, and you wake up, if you even slept at all, feeling completely drained, just dreading the day ahead. I want you to know you are so not alone in this.
So, in that moment of just pure desperation, it is so understandable why you might reach for a drink or something else, just for some relief. I mean, it feels like a quick fix, right? Like a switch you can flip to finally turn off all that noise in your head. But, and this is the hard part, what feels like a solution in that moment, it's often the very start of a much, much bigger problem.
Okay, so let's get into the why behind this. Let's actually look at the science of what's happening inside your brain. Because there is a very clear scientific reason that this attempt to find sleep can backfire so painfully. So, here's the deal. Every single night, our brains are supposed to go on this little journey through a very specific cycle. You can basically think of it in two key parts. There's NREM sleep, that's your deep, physically restorative, body-repairing sleep. And then there's REM sleep. That's when you dream, process your emotions, and sort of file away your memories. To get a truly good, refreshing night's sleep, you have to cycle smoothly between both of them.
And this is where you can really see the problem. Look at the difference. Healthy sleep, it's like a smooth, predictable ride. But when you introduce substances, they just shatter that cycle. They act like a roadblock, and they specifically suppress that critical REM sleep. So yeah, you might pass out, but your brain never gets to that vital pit stop where it actually recharges and repairs itself.
This is the perfect way to think about it. Using drugs or alcohol to sleep, it's literally like plugging your phone into a broken charger. Sure, the little light might come on, making you think it's working. But you come back hours later and the battery is still on 10%. You wake up feeling just as empty, and sometimes even more drained than when you first laid down.
And this is what leads to such a dangerous trap. It's this powerful, vicious cycle where the very thing you're using as a solution actually becomes the fuel for the problem, and it can make you feel like there's just no way out.
Let's walk through how this thing builds on itself, step by step. It starts here. You use a substance to try and cope or just to get some sleep. But as we just saw, that completely destroys your actual sleep quality. So what happens? You wake up exhausted and stressed out. That exhaustion and stress then dials up your anxiety and your cravings. And what does that do? It makes you feel like you need to use even more just to escape that feeling. And boom, the cycle starts all over again, just a little bit deeper this time.
And listen, this isn't just a theory or, a feeling. This is hard science. Research is crystal clear on this. Poor sleep is a universal risk factor for relapse and addiction. It's not just about being tired. It is actively working against you in your efforts to get better. But, and I really need you to hear this, as powerful and devastating as that cycle feels, there's absolutely a way out. This is not a life sentence. This is not a battle you have to fight forever, and you for sure don't have to do it alone. The thing that makes all the difference is that real, lasting recovery has to address both things at once, the substance use and the sleep disruption. It's about finding a way forward that helps you break free from the substance while also, at the same time, teaching your body and your brain how to get real, honest-to-goodness sleep again.
And that's exactly why an approach like the one at RecoveryCNT is so important. They get it. They've built their entire program around this connection because they know you can't truly fix one problem without also fixing the other.
Their whole philosophy is captured in this one idea: healing while living. And what does that mean? It means you can break this cycle without having to completely upend your life. You don't have to stop everything, leave your job, leave your family, all of which just adds more stress, right? And that's the last thing you need when you're trying to find sleep.
So, what does that actually look like? Well, first, it's outpatient treatment, which means you fit recovery into your life, not the other way around. It's also evidence-based medical care, so you can safely manage withdrawal, which, as you probably know, is when sleep can be the absolute worst. And it's personalized. No one-size-fits-all plans here. It's small groups and support tailored to you. And finally, they include family therapy, because this cycle doesn't just affect you, it affects the people you love. Every single piece of this is designed to get at the root of the problem.
Look, I know that taking that very first step can feel like the hardest part. It can feel huge and overwhelming, but that first step, That's where everything changes. That's the moment the cycle starts to break, and that heavy exhaustion finally begins to lift.
I really want this to sink in for a minute. That real, deep, refreshing night's sleep, the kind you've been chasing for so long, it is not some distant, impossible dream. It is a fundamental part of recovery, and it is waiting for you.
A single phone call can be the turning point. It's completely confidential. The number is 1-732-484-9661. There's someone on the other end of that line who truly understands and is ready to help right now.
Please, don't let yourselves spend another night just watching the clock. You can visit RecoveryCNT.com or just call that number again, 1-732-484-9661. Help is there. It's confidential and it's available right now. It's time to stop chasing sleep and finally start getting some real rest.